Hey, everybody, welcome back to your Dawn of Autonomy podcast. This is our third episode so far this year, 2024. In a month, we've dedicated to this theme of new tech and sponsored by AI Bot. Today, I'm so excited actually to have on the show Eurolink and Pietro Lapiana to talk to us about all the new tech that they've been involved in with the Beluga drone and all different kinds of market use cases and solutions over the last couple of years. So great to have you on the show, Pietro.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dawn, and hello to everybody, to all the people attending this challenging and this interesting podcast. We are very proud to be part of this, let's say, go-to technology, let's call it this way.
Thank you so much. And Pietro is coming to us live from Italy, and that's where Eurolink is based. And so, Pietro, let's start with you, since not everybody knows about you. So if you could give us a little bit of background about yourself, that would be great.
Okay, yes, fine, thank you. I am an electronic engineer, and in my previous life, I have been a designer in some electronic company in Italy. The names of the company were Selenia, now Leonardo, and Elettronica, so for electronic counter-measurement system. So I am still a designer. I am a bad president, but I am still a good designer, let's say in this way. And after I spent almost 25 years with a multinational American company, Analog Devices, in the semiconductor, and especially in military and aerospace semiconductor. In 1993, I started this strange idea that was Eurolink. So we started with this new challenge, let's say.
So 1983 Eurolink Systems. So tell us, what is Eurolink Systems and what is its mission?
Yes, Eurolink has been, the idea was quite strange because I was climbing on the mountains, on Dolomites. And at that time, I still was an employee of Analog Devices. After one full day on Dolomites, when I was back, and my wife asked me, how is gone today? I say, I have to change my job. I will change my job. Don't ask me why. Where is the connection between Dolomites and my job? I don't know. But at the end, if you look our logo, you see the strange skyline that is not a signal, but it's part of the Dolomites.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yes, so this is, and the hawk, because during my climbing, I have seen an hawk. So I mixed the two concepts together. So you see that Mother Nature was helping me since the beginning. And this is regarding the history of foundation. The name Eurolink, the mission was really to be a connection, a link between US and Europe on new technology. Technology at the time and today too, it's more important when you speak about systems, because we are no longer speaking about just a component. You know my previous job, Analog Devices, was designing components. In my opinion, we have to move in a higher level of abstraction. So Eurolink, the name was to be a link between Europe and US.
So I didn't know any of this, and by the way, I got chills listening to literally your mountaintop experience and being inspired by nature. I know we're going to talk about the Beluga drone and the biomimicry we see there. So to see these roots very early in the kind of the inspiration for your company is really super cool. So let's talk about the robotics division, because you do a lot of different things in Eurolink Systems, and I think it was 1993 that you really started getting into robotics. Tell us about that.
Let's say 93 to be precise. So we started with commercial off-the-shelf solution for military mission critical application. So we worked over since more than 20 years with Mercury system. And today we are working with Curtiss-Wright, for example, for operation in defense aerospace. After this new technology, because in 1993, when you were speaking about commercial off the shelf to customer was considering us like a devil. This is want to change our job, but we will be fired because we will not design boards.
Right, right.
And so they say, no, we don't want to speak about this because otherwise we will lose our job. After, let's say, we were in advance on the market, and after 2-3 years, the customer selected us almost on all the new design they have done in Italy for the defense and aerospace. We are still today working in this field. In 2009, my idea was to reading some magazine, because at that time internet was not so easy to check, also because the modem were very slow, at least. Right. So I was reading about these strange toys, flying toys in some way. So we started to speak about drones in 2009, proposing this as a new technology. Right. And for us, this was a new technology. So we proposed it to the Italian market, to the Italian military forces. And in 2011, we have done the first public event with a flying drone at the 197th anniversary of Arma dei Carabinieri. And we flew over 15,000 people, but we were lucky because at the time, EASA, ENAC, and Federal Aviation doesn't know about drones.
So you were out there just woohoo, fearlessly flying. And you know what? I think we have a picture. So I want to pop one of these up to give people an idea if they haven't seen the Beluga. Now, is this the drone you were flying back then, or is this evolved over time, Pietro?
This is not what we flew in 2011, because at the time it was a different system. And but anyway, so this has been the first time we flew in the history. And also we carried the Italian flag. Also in this case, we have been the first on the planet, after a lot of people who was flying with the flag, but we have been the first in 2011. There is the video on YouTube. It's still available. Someone is interested, we can send a link. In 2016, we won a United Nations tender for drones, and we delivered also ground drones to Italian Air Force, Italian Army, for counter-ID application in Afghanistan. So we also delivered some ground system for. We don't do UCAV, so combat UAV, but the UAV we do normally are help to save life, or to help to save life, or to avoid to lose life. This is
so those humanitarian purposes on the battlefield, detecting mines sounds like one of them. With ground robots, I mean, your background and what Eurolink has been doing is so incredibly diverse. You know, I think that Beluga drone that we showed, you know, people identify you with that now, because I know that was your big release a couple years ago at AVSI Exponential. And at least here in the US, when people think Eurolink, they think Beluga drones. But I love that we're talking about all this other tech, including the tech that you started with, flying the Italian flag over a big crowd of people in 2011. That is so cool. So, you know, we talked on Clubhouse, Pietro, about Eurolink's DNA being design and, you know, innovation at work. You know, obviously you were one of the pioneers in drone technology globally. Yes. So, you know, what challenges were you facing as you were designing the drone that is today evolved into the Beluga, but along the way there?
Let's say that in our history, the main challenge has been the Chinese people in the same area. Obviously, right. They have a lot of support from the government. They have a lot of possibility. We don't have the same here in Italy. But anyway, this has been the most challenging, from one side, most challenging problem. From the other side, has been the way to evangelize the market. So today, all the people knows about drones everywhere. All the kids knows about the drones. So, and but after a few years that we were just distributing drones, we received a specific request from a North Europe army, and they asked us to propose a new drone that was able to be very fast, 110 kilometers per hour, 69 miles per hour, that was able to fly for 1 hour carrying 1.5 kilos, and was capable to work from minus 25, because it's a North Europe army, to plus 55 in case of operation in the desert. And that was able to do automatic takeoff and landing. So we try to say what we can do. The first point was avoid Chinese component. At the time, there was no concern to use Chinese components.
Yeah, I was going to say, Pietro, what year are we talking about here? Because at least here in the U.S., people didn't start having that, the red light when it came to Chinese technology and components until about, I'm thinking of my military time,
2 years,
2018.
Let's say that from our mission critical embedded solution, we were aware of the Pacific Rim question. So we say, when we started to design a new drone, we say, I cannot use Chinese component because I don't want to be competitor for China, and this was the main commercial reason. Okay. And the second one, because we want to control the configuration and all the parts that are used in the system, and we need to have the complete control. Remember, we are coming from mission critical application. If you are supporting avionic systems, you need to control every single piece of your system, and you have to maintain the life of each single pieces of your system. So this was one of the key drivers, together with the high speed, the long endurance, the low signature radar, sonar, radio, infrared, and noise. We will speak later about noise. So these have been the drivers to say what we can do also from a cybersecurity point of view. So we started with this real challenge. At the end, the question, and we used a commercial platform from Tarot that was our prototype, just to bring all the electronics together, the state-of-the-art electronics. And then when we say more or less the performance, we say, okay, how we can do? If you consider a drone at the end, 95% of the drone in this class are just bricks with arms, 6 arms, 4 arms, 3 arms, but at the end are bricks. So we say, if you need to put some payload, you need a lot of stuff around. So at the end, it's a monster. It's not something really aerodynamic. So we say, how we can achieve this? So we ask it to Mother Nature. And Mother Nature has already in the catalog, let's say, I have already done something optimized in terms of fluidodynamics. So for the ocean, I said the beluga. I say, oh, why not? The beluga has a big head, so we can put a lot of electronics, all the electronics we need. That means autopilot, embedded boards for artificial intelligence algorithms, transponders, communication, 4G, 5G, satellite communication, the radio beacon. So everything has to be inside, with the exception of just one payload outside. And this was the idea. But we achieved a special aerodynamics together with the University of Rome. And also, let me say as Italian, beauty. Also
you know what? It is beautiful. And before we talk more about the beluga, I want to say 2 things. Number one, there are a lot of people out there on YouTube, especially on the AUVSI channel. So please, please, please drop something in the chat. Say hello, tell us where you're from, ask Pietro questions. You're here for a reason, and I want to make sure that we're answering the questions you all have. So let's do that. And the second thing I want to say, Pietro, is, your story and the evolution of the Beluga drone is very similar to, you know, a lot of different technologies that really start kind of in that military sector, where the military comes to the commercial sector and says, hey, these are our needs. You know, they support, they provide funding that allows you to partner with people like, you know, organizations like, as you said, the University of Rome, and to create this beautiful design. By the way, everybody, I have to tell you, I met Pietro 2 years ago at Exponential, and I saw that Beluga drone, and I knew the very first time I saw this, number one, it was so unique. Number two, I'm like, there is something special about this. And I knew that, and I'm not just saying it, I knew it the very first time I saw it. So I'm a huge fan. And we're going to talk about these wings and other aspects of biomimicry. But I love everything about this drone. And Pietro, I want to talk about, you know, the evolution, not only just of the body, and we're going to talk about the folding wings and some of the use cases, but the most recent release you guys had is this ISR application. And I think we have a really awesome picture. Again, this is military focused. I love that you put the camouflage. Again, biomimicry. This is coming from nature. We don't see any Beluga drones looking like this, but or whales looking like this, but we see the Beluga drone looking like this. Tell us about some insights and trends in ISR and you know, how the Beluga has evolved to succeed in these missions.
Yes, let's say that again, the key driver designer of the Beluga has been the low signature. That means radar, radio, infrared, and acoustic. So based on these points, the system is ideal to use in ISR. ISR application for military application, but also for law enforcement, especially together with the low noise characteristic. So at the end you say a drone is just a flying carrier. So the real point is which kind of sensors you can bring. And in this case, we can also fly with gimbal that are 1 kilo, 1.5 kilos. So it's a really very accurate gimbals that could detect a human at 10 kilometers. So at the end of the game, the capacity of payload is important. In this case, we have all the possibility to customize also the payload. In the S.R.L application, the daylight infrared target designator eventually is part of the game. And you see in this case, we have just one sensor outside the system. All the other electronics is in the system.
So, you know, we're using the term ISR, which is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, and that is a very military specific term. You know, when I think about law enforcement, I think about disaster response, public safety. You know, they're using this term, you know, situational awareness or incident awareness and assessment. And, you know, that sensor and the way this drone is configured is also perfect for that. I want to dive deeper, Pietro, before we get into your new hydrogen tethered solution. Everybody hold on for that. I want to talk about the Beluga more, and I want to kind of skip down to the actual platform. And I think we have a really cool picture of that as well. I know this has been the product of your 3 decades of experience and state-of-the-art multi-mission, multi-domain thinking, design thinking. Tell us about this, and I love how this is folding up. Tell us about this.
Yes, let's say that one key issue for the drones is that it has to be portable, really portable. Now, yeah. If you consider that this can be carried by just one person, but at the end it's a self-contained system that is able to fly for 1 hour with 1.5 kilos in almost all the weather conditions. So it's important also the logistic and the maintenance. Let's say these two parts, because all the people designing drones are not thinking about, normally are not thinking about logistic and maintenance, because the designer wants just to do the best. But when you have the system on the road, someone has to use the screwdriver to do something. At that point, they will be crazy. This happens also in the automotive industry. Before you told about the military market that is the driver. Yes, military market is the driver of the technology in the same way that Formula One is the driver for the automotive. Is almost the same, let's say, relation. And in this case, so the drone has to be foldable arms to be contained also in a car. You can have also in a car. And the picture we have seen is the cargo version. The cargo bay, it's in this case we use it to carry antidotes or blood or plasma or vaccine very fast. So this was the main reason for the cargo version. Actually, we have the two versions, the cargo and the ISR. Obviously, we can customize almost everything because we have 100% control on this drone, from the design of the body to all the electronics inside.
Well, let's talk about customization, because there's so many use cases. We've been talking about ISR, or incident awareness and assessment, but this can be used for a whole host of other applications, and you can customize for that. So let's first talk about some of the other use cases. And that, because I remember Pietro, reading some of your LinkedIn posts. I remember seeing some fun, almost recreational use cases off of yachts. Mm-hmm. But there's other more, kind of serious and societally important use cases. So why don't you walk us through some of that?
But let's say that the drone for yachts, it's a nice challenge that we are facing with a French company, Drone for Yacht. And this is a very nice application because, when you have to fly the drone, you say, okay, just to fly it. All the drone is supposed that they have to fly. But if you have to fly into the ocean from an harbor to a yacht, the yacht is not on the wheel. Normally the yacht, it's on the ocean. So right. This means that the ocean, when we have to speak with Mother Nature, we have to respect Mother Nature. We have to understand how we can work together with Mother Nature. So the problem in terms of landing and takeoff from a platform that is not stable, it's quite a challenging one. We know from our friends Elon Musk, the SpaceX, or one has to land on the platform, no? And this because it's not landing on a stable platform. In one case in both cases they have to land on the ocean that is moving. So these are given us some challenge for this, but also other challenge in terms of temperature, humidity, the salt. So salt has been solved giving to IP67 to the capability to the drone. So the drone is completely, let's say, sealed from water without problem. So we can fly with rain, with snow, with wind. We have tested the system with 50 kilometers per hour lateral wing. We tested the system from -25 to +55. So in the real world, because otherwise, when you design a system in the lab, all the system on the paper can work.
And you actually added some kind of a hydroplane type platform for it to land on water?
But yes, I'll explain why. The drone itself is IP67. Now the question is that today we don't have too many payload that are IP67. So if you spend 20K, 40K or 60K for a specific payload, that could be a radio frequency catcher, for example, or a specific high precision gimbal for IR or daylight, you can have a real problem if this payload will go into the water.
So yeah, we actually saw this happen with a company that was delivering a product, let's just say, we're not going to get into details, where really, the drone did what it was supposed to do, I believe, but ultimately there was some pilot involvement, of course. This thing took a dive. Yeah, and as you said, these systems are expensive. So how does this work? Do these just pop out, or how?
This is, this is just an option. You can plug in the system in a couple of minutes, and it's still in carbon fiber. It's still aerodynamic because we want to keep alive the top speed of the system. And at the end, the weight of this, the flats, is in the range of 500 grams. So it's really light, let's say. And this is important anyway, because you can save with this simple option a payload that is very expensive.
Yeah, that is amazing. I want to talk about, you mentioned noise, the noise profile.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that and get back to some of this biomimicry, because I think it was at AVSI Exponential, you gave a lecture or presentation on this design, and you were talking about the rotors and inspiration from an owl.
Yeah.
Tell us about this.
Yes, with pleasure. Let's say, starting from the point that the drone is doing a lot of noise, and especially in the urban air mobility field, you will have a lot of drones flying one day. And there is a question that the perception of the noise is different. I explain you. Normally noise is characterized by level, so the amplitude of the noise, from the spectrum of the noise, so the composition of the noise.
Yeah.
And if you fly with, if you listen an helicopter, almost nobody's watching the helicopter until it's 10 meters high. Nobody's watching an helicopter or an airplane flying because we know this sound.
Right.
If there is a noise from a drone, all the people is watching because it's a different noise. So the perception of the noise, it's important. So we say, what can we do for optimizing or starting to reduce the noise? So again, we spoken with the university, and we asked to Mother Nature. And Mother Nature, again, in his catalog has already solution. So the solution was the owl. If you consider the owl is able to catch the prey during the night, during the night you have silence, so low noise. How this is possible? It's possible because the wing profile of the owl are not like the other, like the eagle or the hawk or other similar, let's say, birds.
Birds of prey.
So the idea was to do a digital twin. It's something that is something very familiar everywhere.
Yeah.
In the propellers of the same profile of the whole wing. And we said, let's try to do this. We have done, we tested against a Matrix 300 that is a smaller system, but we are 9 times more silent than the Matrix 300.
Wow.
And it's a great result at the end.
Yeah.
Just asking to Mother Nature. Mother Nature has a lot of other suggestions we are evaluating now for the future. But anyway, this is what we can say.
Well, I'll tell you, the eVTOL companies need to be talking to you, because that's also a concern with the larger, right, electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. And yes, it makes sense. Why would you not look to nature? Like, the nature was built for purpose and for a reason. And you're tapping into that. That is awesome. Well, I knew time would fly talking to you, Pietro. I want to make sure we talk about this new tethered solution with a company that's, I believe, is also out of Italy, called MEEG, M-I-E-E-G.
Yes.
I saw your announcement on this, and what I love about it, it also has a hydrogen component to it. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about this latest iteration of the Beluga with MEEG?
Yes, this is Another challenging project, but I love because without challenge, you don't have innovation. So the idea was, actually a lot of people are speaking or using fuel cell. So when we was in touch with this company and we identified that they invented, they are patenting a micro generator, hydrogen powered, we say, yes, what means micro? Just to give you an idea, a fuel cell generator for a big ship,
Yeah,
that is able to generate 100 kilowatts of power. It's something 1 meter for 1 meter for 1 meter cube. So it's a 1 meter cube.
okay.
And the weight is in the range of 1 ton.
1
Okay?
ton. And this
Yes.
is to generate hydrogen on a ship.
And this is what used on the ship. What
Okay.
has been achieved from this new project is that we can generate 100 kilowatts the same with something that has a weight of 20 kilos.
Really?
Yes. So when we heard about this, I was saying, okay, this is great to as a range extender for almost every electric system. So we cannot have on board because we cannot carry 20 kilos, even if a bigger drone could.
Right.
But we can try to use for a tethered beluga. Tethered beluga was already in our roadmap, is something that we have to realize. We were in connection with Alistair to have a tethered beluga.
Yes,
But
yes.
so this was just the right compendium, the right complement to propose an innovative project to Lazio region, to the local government region. And our project has been approved as a new, challenging, and innovative. And for example, I can give you a real application on this, because tethered has to be used for where is required a prolonged aerial monitoring. So this means critical area surveillance, if you have to do surveillance in parks, if you have to do traffic control, fire protection. In case of disaster recovery, you can set up a quick repeater, GSM repeater, to cover the area, for example. The question is that until today, you have to use a truck, you have to use general in combustion engine, you have to carry with you a lot of gasoline or gas anyway, and all this is not so sustainable.
Right.
In our case, we say, imagine to use this hydrogen micro generator on a, for example, on a Tesla Cybertruck, that is an electric vehicle, an electric truck with the beluga. So you will have a 100% sustainable, a completely self-supported and maintained system that can work almost everywhere in the planet without requirements. Yes.
So you're blowing my mind, because you are just living out this idea of multimodal, right, solutions, this idea of collaboration with other companies. So, I mean, you're saying Tesla, but I also heard you say, so Alistair is the tether solution that attaches a drone. And by the way, Troy Hiddle from Alistair was on our legacy podcast, Dawn of Autonomy, about, I think it was November of 2021, talking about their tethered solution, which is super cool. And now with this micro hydrogen processor from Meeg, wow. The applications in my mind are endless. That's unbelievable. So there's an area in Italy that has kind of signed up to work with you on testing out, proving out these concepts.
Yes, so we will test. We will do the integration here in Rome. We will test here in Rome. The smart, let's say, another smart feature of this micro generator is also you can power this, or you can use to integrate with photovoltaic or with the system to self-producing hydrogen from wastewater. So then you have an hybrid, more than hybrid. It's a multi, let's say, source potentially that will give you a complete autonomy in a sustainable way. So I think that this is almost quite interesting.
Yeah, but this is exactly why it was perfect for you to be on our new show, The Dawn of Autonomy, because you are all about it. So very, very cool. So, and by the way, hydrogen is one of those things that when you're talking about longevity and you know, keeping things up in the air for long periods of time, sustainability, perfect solution. You mentioned a roadmap. And I'd be remiss not to ask you, since we're talking about new tech, Pietro. So what else is out there? I mean, golly gee, we had you know, the evolution of the Beluga drone from your very start of your company to now. Some of the, you know, the military applications, the different commercial use cases, the what do you call them? Not the pontoon, the landing on water. What is that called?
Drone to yacht.
Yeah, the drones for yachts, but the
flats.
The water skis that that you put on there, tethered solution.
The floating, the flats. Yes.
The flot. Okay, the flots. All right, that's the technical. I call it floating skis, but you know, it's all the same. It's all really cool. So much going on with Eurolink. What is next?
Oh, we have, for what I can tell you, avoiding to kill you.
Yes.
Okay, let's say that currently there are several paths. One path is on the system. I mean, the system as planned now will have the tethered version. To follow, we will have the nesting station for the Beluga. And we have also spoken in the past with some American companies for this. And the next products will be the tilt rotor. So the Beluga will have the wings. And this will allow to have the same type or bigger capacity in terms of payloads with longer endurance and with higher speed. And so we'll open another, let's say, possibility to use the same approach. And the last one will be better. And the Beluga will go back to the ocean. So the last one will be the Beluga submarine. So now it's a P67. We cannot allow the water or rain to go inside. The submarine version will be required to control the water in and out. So these are quite some challenges, but the most important on this area is to have a complete ecosystem. That means that we have also UGV, I told you. We have the dog robot and the ground robot. So the idea is to have an ecosystem that can be controlled by the same ground control station. With one ground control station, you can control almost all the platforms. That means also for the people. Remember my focus on maintenance and logistics. You will have the same, at least 90% of the parts will be the same in terms of electronics, in terms of what you need in the drones, in the ecosystem. You will manage with the same platform. So if you will train people as pilots, the same people trained can use different platforms without changing. Today, for each platform, you have a different way to pilot, and this is good. So we say the ecosystem has to be the winning area. So if you need a VTOL, you can use the VTOL. If you need a Dogger bow, you can use the Dogger bow, but you don't need to have other people trained on different stuff. The same people can be trained on all over the platform. So these are the, in terms of technology for the drone. We are still working on other materials. So we have already the drone that is based on 2 different materials. One is carbon fiber, the other one is a different one. And this is coming from the fact that if the Beluga has to carry a radio frequency repeater, we use the carbon fiber. If the drone has to be low signature, we use another material.
Right.
But we will continue on the materials. We will continue improving with the battery technology, the endurance. And I think that just in few words, we will continue on the noise reduction. We are just at the beginning of the noise reduction. There is a lot of work we can do on the noise reduction. So this is, I think it's enough stuff to do.
Yeah, that's going to keep you busy, to be sure, and we'll be watching. And speaking of which, for those that want to connect with you, want to see the Beluga up close and personal, or know where you're going to be, like, are there events that you might be attending this year, Pietro, or other ways people can connect with you?
Yes, let's say we have the standard connection through the website. We are planning the events from the 2024. Just now we are quite busy for a big tender that is almost ready here in Europe. But we are also settled a distribution in South America with BA1 Defense. So we are now a partner for South America. We are settling a partner for US. So shortly we will have also formal and official agreement with a partner for US market. We are direct in connection. We participated last year at Special Operation Forces Week, and we were the guest inside the L3 Harris booth.
Oh, cool.
For this innovative drone. And we are very proud because it's an American company selecting us as the best product in this area. They are smart. They are not just friends. So at the end,
they're doing a lot. I saw L3 at the National Business Aviation Association's Aviation Conference and Expo. They had a booth there, and they gave me a little, what do you call that? Oh gosh, my brain isn't working. Thing you stick in your computer to download files. USB. They gave me a little eVTOL USB. It was so cute. And they actually had a demonstrator, a simulator for piloting an eVTOL aircraft for training purposes. So I know they're deeply in this space. The fact that you're sounds like developing something with rotors, could be a stepping stone, something bigger. I'm really excited to see what comes of this, and so hopefully we'll run into each other on some show floor at some time this year. But in the meantime, we put up your website. Are there other ways people can connect with you?
I have to bring you another t-shirt with Beluga.
Yes. And oh, by the way, it's so funny. I was just at CES, Consumer Electronics Show, and went to a thought leadership dinner for advanced air mobility. And we were just talking, about drones, the drone delivery case, and, some communities not accepting noise is a big issue. But, one thing I said was, why do all the drones have to look so scary, like a spider, but you know what? Yours doesn't. Yours, as you said, it is beautiful. And to see something like that in the sky doesn't it's the original one is white, and I know it comes in other colors. I'm looking forward to seeing the pink one someday. Go Barbie. And he's laughing, but I'm just telling you, people would buy it. Just saying. So much going on. Great ways to connect with you, Pietro. Any final comments as we end today's show?
Oh, let's say that we thanks all the colleagues. I thanks all the colleagues that are bringing to reality a dream, let's say. And I thanks people like you, like Ed, that are supporting us in this challenging phase of our, let's say, of our evolution. And obviously all the customers that are starting to trust in us as a company, in us as a product. There is another area of this, the company that is involved in smart solution for mobility. And this also, in this case, we are innovators. Now we will have some exhibition dedicated to our new platform, business to business for e-mobility. But we don't speak about this because we are more in the robotics. So let's say we are open to cooperation. We are open to expand our market and our solution. And we are open to new development because there is a lot we can still improve in the technology in the drone area, especially because the next challenge will be on the swarm operation. So drones or platform, heterogeneous platforms, so aerial, ground, terrestrial drones working together for achieving a specific mission, and not only for military application. Again, I think sensitive target surveillance, disaster recovery, where the combination of a swarm of drone could save lives more and better than what we do today just with the dogs, if we have the dogs. So yeah. I think that there is a lot we can still do in terms of technology, in terms of cooperation with other companies to bring this new technology from magician to reality that can be used.
All right. And as you said, you've got Da Vinci in your blood. So we will keep watching. Thank you so much for being on the show. It was great to have you. Everybody keep watching Eurolink Systems. Reach out to them to partner. And that's all she wrote for now. We are out here.
Thanks.